Hello, I am back to you today to show you a demo on how I like to use watercolor pencils as promised before. And before I get started, let's have a little disclaimer. Obviously, you can use any art supply a million different ways, so please go ahead and experiment with them as much as you can, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I like to do it. And I'm going to be demonstrating by drawing jellyfish because I love drawing jellyfish. I'm just going to go ahead and lay out my base sketch of my jellyfish. Nothing particularly intricate, but just enough to get me going. Most of the line work will be done with the actual watercolor pencils because that's one of their main benefits in terms of you can do the line work with them and also paint with them, so they get to do double duty, so to speak. Get to draw a nice long flowy tail, and the actual tentacles themselves I'll leave for the watercolor pencils, which I am going to bust out now. So I have my base sketch, and what I usually do is I will start with the darkest color, which seems maybe a little bit counterintuitive, but that's just how I work. And what I'll do is I'll pop that color in the darkest areas of where the drawing will be. And so when you are working with watercolor pencils, you can do two things. So the parts that I am heavily outlining right now, those parts will still be visible as pencil even after I put the water over it. But what I can do now also is I can also lightly shade an area, and that area, when the water goes over it, will blend out and become a smooth wash of color. So that is definitely one of my favorite benefits about this whole watercolor pencil business. So just gonna keep rendering this and adding the darkest values to the picture with this darker color. Just kind of eyeballing it. I've drawn jellyfish so many times that at this point it's just kind of second nature on where the shadows roughly go. But if you are drawing something that you don't know as well as I know jellyfish, go ahead and use a reference, you know? You can never really know how to draw something unless you reference it first. I don't really know what the deal is with artists kind of sometimes expecting themselves to be able to draw something on the first try without ever having drawn it before. Like, no, don't give yourself those kinds of harmful expectations. Those are really unrealistic and will just make you feel depressed and sad when you can't do what you want to do. So I've gone ahead and laid down a base of red, and I'm gonna go ahead and deepen that with a purple because I just like how the purple and red combine. It looks so nice. So I'm just going ahead and adding that to the places I feel need that extra pop of depth. And don't worry too much if it's uneven because a lot of areas will get blended out once you're done. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and actually add some of this purple to this fuzzy underlining. That is frankly the best part of drawing a jellyfish for me, is this kind of lacy underlayer inside of it. I absolutely love it. It looks so cool. Okay, so I have that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use this kind of orangey red along with the red to just keep working my way through. And so build up the colors you're using until you feel satisfied. I'm going to be slowly just working through the color range I picked out until I get to the lightest color. So I think I've gone ahead and laid down enough color for me to get started with the water part of the watercolor pencil. And this is so exciting, and it's like magic, and once you put the water over it, it all blends together and it's beautiful. And so I'm so excited for you to see the magic happen. I'm gonna go ahead and dip my brush in the water, and I'm just gonna go ahead and with one stroke gonna blend it together and create this kind of gradient effect. Now, since you're kind of working with a lot of colors built on top of each other here, you have to be careful to make sure it doesn't get muddy, essentially, because since you have a lot of things blending together, you need to make sure that you preserve the cleanliness of the color. So for that, you can just go ahead and wipe your brush off and then pick up the color where it needs lightening. So there, I'm gonna lighten up those areas. I'm gonna move these pencils. Oh no! That's okay, guys, that's okay. I can just mop it up. And then it's gone. There you go. No problem. In watercolor, it's like you always have to go with the flow, deal with your mistakes as they come. No biggie, right? I think in order to be good with watercolor, you have to be like really relaxed about your painting experience and not too worried if you make a mistake, right? Okay, so I'm just lightening out the areas that need lightening now so that it's not too dark. And there you go. I have the first base wash of water on there, but some areas still don't have the values that I want them to have. So what I can do now is I like to go back and I like to draw over the wet areas, which is a little bit weird and kind of not the proper method. But what happens is, as you can see, when you draw on already wet paper with your watercolor pencil, it makes the color come out super pigmented. So this is like how I like to add the kind of finishing touches to any piece. So I'm just going ahead and I'm kind of giving it an outline with the purple. Again, starting with the darker color and working my way through. I am going back to voiceover so that I can show you how you can use the most extreme of all techniques, which is essentially taking your pencil and just directly dipping it into the water. This will give you the most ridiculous thick line imaginable, and this is to be used for like emergency situations where you're like, I need this to be the most saturated color ever. So that is what I am doing right now, and just kind of re-dip as needed, but I am using this to create the final touch of the tentacles. I love doing this part, it's so fun. Okay, so I'm just kind of making them go wherever I see fit, and I'm just letting it be loose and free and having fun. So with this, I think I am basically done. And I hope you guys liked watching my video. I hope that you get a chance to experiment with some watercolor pencils of your own, and most of all, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Natalia signing out.